She's just a kiss away. There's a passion inside that only she satisfies when we go all the way. So give me some love songs, candlelight, and you. It's a perfect situation. Love songs, ooh, candlelight makes dreams come true. And all I wanna do is be with you, baby. Darling, oh darling, turn down the lights, pull the shades, have another glass of wine. Come a little closer, 'cause you know what's on my mind.
Yeah, like 3, 2, 1.
No, you don't do that.
Press record.
Press record and wait, you don't do that.
Baby, whisper in my ear.
His Excellency, the Governor General, Stanley K. John Casey, members of Cabinet, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the Board of Directors of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Trust, the University of the West Indies, my colleagues, Dr. Risa Noel McBarnett of the Global Campus, the head of the local site, specially invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't see any small children. So, good evening. It's indeed a pleasure to be on home soil to share with you a major research project on the history of transatlantic trading connections. This project is being coordinated by the Department of History, Philosophy and Psychology at the University of the West Indies, Keyville campus. And it's headed by the principal investigator, who is also Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Education, Dr. Henderson Carter, who is no stranger to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and who insisted that on this leg of our tour to the eastern US that we make our first stop here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I would welcome, first of all, to bring you greetings, the president of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Trust, in which I'm also a member, and who have willingly allowed us to use these premises and to partner with us with this initiative. Please welcome Mr. L. Fitzpatrick. I hope I have the right name. Fitzpatrick? Fitzgerald Providence. You see, when you go to school, you call people one name, right, Blazer? But when they take certain positions, you have to get it right. Fitzgerald Providence for the record. Thank you. Please welcome Mr. Providence.
Thank you, Dr. Scott, His Excellency Sir Stanley K. John, GCMC KC, His Excellency Subnash Prasad Gupta, High Commissioner of India to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Risa Noel McBarnett, Head of Site at the UAE Global Campus, other invited guests, members of cabinet, members of parliament, and also special invited guests, and all a special welcome to the 14 members of the Carmichael Research Project. Welcome to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and to the compound of the Carnegie Building, which is a site of, which was declared a National Heritage Site in, um, let me get the year right, 2009, and is a part of the beauty of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Kingston. We at the National Trust, a group of what we say volunteers. The National Trust was established by law in 1967. So we have about, next year will be our 60th anniversary, and we hope all our members will come and help us to celebrate that 60th anniversary by becoming more involved in the trust. The trust was established to protect and conserve protected built heritage, national heritage, and also culture. My background is in forestry, so I'm very interested in the natural heritage and the beauty of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But they all come together along with our cultural heritage as part of the beauty of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a beauty that is echoed in our national anthem, Beautiful St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So we want to welcome you all here this evening to this event where we celebrate or we commemorate with this group of intellectuals as they do their research and start here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we also welcome you to view the exhibits inside, which shows a lot of our pre-colonial history in terms of the artifacts that were discovered over the years. And we want to, especially a lot of it collected by Dr. Earl Kirby, someone I always sat at his feet as I was a young man and was influential in me being a part of the National Trust. So Dr. Scott said he's a member, and I hope by the end of this evening that persons here who are not members will be interested and come and join us in the opportunity given to learn, protect, and share the knowledge of the natural, cultural, built heritage of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Providence, President of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Trust. And the National Trust has indeed been doing some wonderful job over the years. And there is an impressive collection of material culture in the inside of this building, and our contingent earlier this afternoon had a view of some of these collection. And if you had a copy if you purchase a copy of the volume 1 of the National History of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you would see several photos of some of these artifacts. So we thank the National Trust for the work it has been doing. As part of this Constant and Carmichael project, where we are studying the trading connection between a small island just off of Long Island, New York, called Shelter Island, and two plantations in Barbados. One is called a Constant and the other one is called a Carmichael plantation. These plantations were some of the earliest plantations established in Barbados around 1650 or so. For those of you who are very familiar with the history of sugar, what we call the Sugar Revolution, the change to sugar in Barbados began around 1640. So that these plantations were among the development of what we call the model of production, the model of how you manage enslaved people, how you grow sugarcane and so on. And a little later on, my colleague Dr. Carter will fill in on some of the minor details. One of the major outputs we are expected to deliver is a documentary. So we are particularly interested in how to use history to make what Dr. Carter likes to call heritage assets, how we can use history as part of the creative industries. And in this regard, we are impressed with the work of Mr. Olton, who we will invite to come and speak to you about his work, and then we will have a viewing of his film, and then that will be followed by a viewing of a small documentary that we have done as part of this project. Okay? So please welcome Mr. Ackley Olton, who is also a member of the board of directors of the St. Vincent and Grenadines National Trust. Mr. Olton.
All right. Good afternoon. Right. So Your Excellency, Governor General, Honorable Ministers, Dr. Scott, esteemed scholars from the Constant Carmichael Research Project and partners of the National Trust, it is with profound pleasure that I would like to welcome you to the grounds of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines National Trust. This is our house. This is where we live. We have an exhibit inside that tells a story of over 5,000 years of life on this island and the islands that make up St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As we look towards our future, I want to propose a shift in our national strategy. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has long been subject to intense research. We are a nation rich in knowledge, but we face one common challenge: making sure these findings return to the communities that they describe. We know that academic writing can be dense, and to bridge that gap, film and content creation serves perfectly. This is where we have an incredible opportunity to partner. I believe we can build a machine, a system of research, education, and translation. We can turn our history into accessible, high-value products: films, literature, art, performance art, and festivals, also cultural tours. Right, all of these things will enrich the visitor experience and fuel our economy. To our government leaders present at this event, this is my invitation to you. Let's partner to treat our culture not as an expense, but as a strategic asset that should be engineered. By aligning our public policy to our creative vision, we can build infrastructure of our collective memory that lasts for generations. If we do not document our stories, if we do not claim the camera as our instrument of freedom, someone else will. And they will do so, but not with our truths. And they will do so, but they will reap the rewards. Tonight I offer Madulu the Seaman, a prototype of this partnership in action, developed with support from the If Then Hulu Filmmaker Development Program from the United States, and produced in collaboration with a fellow trustee, Mr. Vincent Reed, who introduced me to a lot of the things I now know about St. Vincent. I was introduced to by my elders. You know, I went around with them and they showed and shared these things with me. Right. So this film is a testament of what we can achieve when we work together. The film captures the story of the legendary shanty singing whaler George Tall-12 Fredericks of Barley and his great nephew. It is an attempt to represent the maritime music tradition of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and to use film to create a renaissance. Since its world premiere at Hot Docs, North America's largest documentary film festival, the film has traveled across 4 continents, earning international acclaim and bringing a piece of Vincentian history to millions. Its journey is marked by Best Short Documentary Awards, special mentions at festivals from Cuba to Indonesia. It is now available on the Criterion Channel, one of the most established cinematic platforms, a celebration of global cinema, and right now, the voice of Vincentians are included. In addition to all of this, I was able to gather licensing for this documentary, which means I was able to sell our intellectual property, have it displayed around the world, and have that, if you want to say, economic benefit come back to St. Vincent. I hope this evening inspires all of us, policymakers, scholars, artists, to continue building this machine together, protecting our knowledge. This knowledge that connects the past and the present is what we need to guide us into the future. Thank you for being here, and I invite you to enjoy the film.
Your side?
The natives of the island, surrounded by the rich waters of the Caribbean Sea, have been singing with the whales for centuries. These days, the ocean is so noisy that the only music that can be heard comes from the cruise ships. Everything changed when they entered our waters and touched feet on our land. They forced their way of doing things on us. Oil for printing, oil for artist paints, oil for shoe polish, oil for cannon grease, oil for lubricants, sterling for candles, sterling for soap, margarine, glycerin, nitroglycerin for bombs, nitroglycerin for grenades, nitroglycerin for whaling harpoons. I come from a village of hard-working seamen who have survived because of their relationship with the sea.
My rolling river, only the mighty knows about my hardship. We are bound away from this world of misery. Oh, misery. I come to tell you, my rolling river, misery into the ocean. We are bound away from this world of misery.
My uncle, Tall 12, is one of the oldest fishermen in the village. He has killed hundreds of whales with a harpoon and his bare hands. Most of the others have died, taking the old songs of the whalermen back to the sea with them. He is one of the few who remembers.
Silent years into the ocean, my lonely river. 7 long years we never touch one. We are bound away from this world of misery.
The experience that you have when you see people pull up whales, you just be like, I want to see like the brain and the teeth and everything. You want to explore about the blackfish. The last time they Tall 12 catch like a big grandpa fish, like big. And then like people from all over came out there just for crowd around to see blackfish. Sometimes I used to think, what if I could just go out and see how they like catch blackfish.
Wait.
Wait, yeah. And jockey line.
Okay, wait. You think who got pan everything, eh?
Pull them over.
My father was a whalerman. 2 uncles was a whalerman. And then I started officially with one of my brothers. Those days they had used any hand harpoon. The harpoon, not the gun.
We've got 3 types of whales. The sperm whale, the killer whale, and the pilot whale. Well, the pilot whale is really the black. Look at the blackfish, but really it is the pilot whale. Monday, the 4th of May, I was with Samuel, his son, and myself. And we were very fortunate. We caught 4 blackfish the same day. And that was the last day went off. If I had a boat, I would never to say, I'm gonna give up my fishing and do whale watching. So me personally, that is what we call a waste of time with me. What you're going to frighten about is the killer whale. That's why most of them fellas say they can't make the blackfish then. Because 9 out of 10 times the killer whale around the area, it is the white fish, they chase the blackfish away. They chase them away. Chase them down and eat them and things. So the reason why when the killer whale is around the area, you don't see blackfish much.
So how much time a killer whale run show?
In all my years growing up, I only catch 2 from the killer whale.
Uncle Tall 12 wants me to be a whalerman like he was.
But how could I? I want to be a footballer. I want to go to Paris to play for PSG as usual.
that poor old man. He sees so well and he knows so well, and he brings those girls from Baltimore. Johnny come down with a high noon.
He doesn't go out to sea anymore. He spends most of his time by himself, sitting by the seashore, mending nets, and singing the old shanties, songs he learned growing up in the village, passed down from generation to generation, gifts from the Europeans and the American sailors, who also taught us how to hunt whales.
Come down with a high road, that poor old man. Shanty man, shanty. Shanty man. But the poor old man, you can't see praise and they still take him in the foot and from down street, you know. Wicked people, eh?
Sometimes he comes down to the docks to watch some of the whaling boats.
These are two brothers' boat there. Fishing boat. That direction there. This is region. Yeah, this one here, this is Samuel alone. These two. This is the one that he usually do the fishing line, and there's the good one. There's the blackish one.
Uncles were killed and it caused an international outrage. And our Prime Minister said that our country would pass laws to ban the killing of orcas. But to put this into context, Barley is a town where traditionally blackfish,
That poor old man, he's sitting there. He wants somebody
by which
to
short film pilot whales are referred.
Tourist thing last year, the Prime Minister decided that he's going to ban us soccer gym. We don't have a problem. Whenever he ban us, we're going to stop. But unless the law is not in place and we meet them, because this is what we live by. Yesterday, my brother called me for some blackfish.
People in rich countries say that we should not kill whales. Tourists call us barbaric and say that it's better to practice whale watching.
I used to take people with my small little boat just outside, less than a mile, take them to see the dolphins and thing, and then it goes on until I have a bigger boat. Normally I tell the tourists and them which is like normal whale life, right? Wildlife. It's not a guarantee you're going to see whale, you know? But if we don't see no whale, right? We have other options I can show them. We can go for a little snorkel. And we go a little bird watching, see some little birds. I don't have a thing like to listen to the songs of the whale. I look for the brief when it blows. So then we saw a humpback, very close.
For the month, let me see. I'm bringing 4 yearly, and from 4, bringing 9. 9 and 12. It's about 20 something for the month, don't catch already.
I go back out to sea, and I can see a blackfish, and I shoot them. And bring them in. And if Nelia come in, them a leave on me other day. And if I in a morning, then go thing on in the morning.
The real man think personal. Them now come along and really say, okay, try cheering, you know, younger folks them around the Yoruba. I'm not sure. Them man believe they like them to go out in themselves and do things themselves, you understand? But listen to me, brother. And it's a generation go on and on. They have to come and train a man still get a man in Yorubas.
Most of them man dead out too, man. Most of them man hold on and then man never pass on to nobody. So,
younger man them.
They really know. And the younger man they let them interested in it, they follow up, you know.
The man not interested.
Nah.
So those them man not interested, them man come and check them and give nobody like a blind man, you understand me, sure?
This year, all the cruise ships went away. Many people could not earn money to buy food for their families. It was our traditions that saved us.
I haven't seen a cruise ship in about 2 years. For the longest while, I haven't seen any kind of tourists. You can't go left your livelihood for say you're gonna do tourism. So it come like it's a waste of time, so you're gonna do whale watching.
You don't have that niche that you used to have. Because Vincentian on a whole, it's not into whale watching.
They're not interested.
Into whale eating. It's about the food, it's a livelihood, you have to eat. Even my uncle thought, well, he have a record of shooting one of the biggest whale ever came in here. As far as I understand, he was one of the best whalers at the time. Along with you have other men, but his name will definitely call when it comes to the history of whaling in this village.
Salute first, my captain and star. We are on the way from this world of misery. Oh, my rolling river, 7 long years I never touched one. We are on the way.
In a dream, I saw him finally get back on a whaling boat, rowing himself singing all the way to his favorite part of the sea. I always felt like Uncle Tall 12 was trying to teach me something. Maybe about the kind of man I was destined to be. But I never gave him a chance.
Seven long years into the ocean, my rolling river. 7 long years we never touch one. We are bound away from this world of misery. Misery, I come to tell you, oh, my rolling river. Misery into the ocean. We are bound away from this world of misery. Solid first, my captain cried, oh, my rolling river. Solid fast, my second bowman answer. We are bound away from this world of misery, misery into the ocean. Oh, my rolling river, misery, I come to tell you, we are bound away from this world of misery. Solid fast, my grandman cry out, oh, my rolling river.
Yeah, don't play it. No, it's okay. We're doing this. We're going to be quick. All right. First of all, I have to apologize on behalf of both ministers who say they can't make it. Okay, so it's on the record. I offer the apology. But it gives me an opportunity to bring to the microphone my colleague, Dr. Carter, to tell you about Jude. Just pull on the mask a little bit. Oh, I see it. Pull on the mask a little bit. To tell a little bit about the next short video you're going to see. Dr. Carter, please come.
Good night, everybody. Sir Stanley, John, good to have you in the audience. Members of the Diplomatic Corps, head of site at the Global Campus, Dr. Risa Noel McBarnett, and we also have distinguished guests here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This short video that we are about to see is about a woman, Lavinia.
Yeah, we have to take shelter.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Take shelter now?
Yeah. As we say in the military, run for cover, Philip. And then we will convene. A little chance or something.
thought I knew all about my country. I discovered some things recently. I thought I could have identified a Vinci, whether in Toronto or New York City. But during a friendly conversation with a foreign businessman, who said he could identify a Vinci among anyone in the city. At first I thought he was just joking, so I listened carefully while he was talking. To my surprise, the man convinced me how much he knew about a Vinci. He said, anytime you see someone buying fish and go John, that's a true Vinci. Anywhere you find below cooking, rice and back and neck chicken, that's a true Vinci. If you are invited by someone, join them in a suhan, that's a true Vinci. And when she husband quarreling about the barrel she shipping, that's a true Vinci. Some will even talk like a Jamaican and parade with guns like a bad man. Some might look like Patra or Bob Marley, but that's 100% Vinci.
Let's push it back a little bit, that's all. Hey, that go.
Told him I just couldn't understand how he knew a real Vincentian. He said it's on weekend when they get paid. That's the time they come out to play. Cruising on their car, shaking the keys, just to show off on them young ladies. And outside the store, on the pavement, yeah, they gather to make argument. Sometimes when they're talking about politics, you could swear some of them are economists. So we don't need a newspaper or TV to know what's happening in their country. He said, if the flesh at home abroad, they grabbing at the bone. That's a true Vinci. At home they don't wipe their baby spit, but here they rush to babysit. That's a true Vinci. They have to reach to work for 8, but always arriving late. That's a true Vinci. Although they reaching after 9, on the job they want to lime. That's a true Vinci. Some say they leave home to live abroad because their economy got so bad. Yeah, they work so hard without a salary, but that's 100% Vinci. When he mentioned the Grenadines, I believe the vacation in the Caribbean. When he said he never been in the region, I still wonder where he got the information. He told me about the Otley Hall project and the Union Island Marine and Market, the Carib Express airline dysfunction, and the NCP $1 million scam. Then he said that those offshore industries tarnishing the image of this country. It won't take a psychic nor mind reader to truly predict the people's future. He said, EPM managed to treat people like BBC. That's a true Vinci. When a bank lends someone big money without any security. That's a true Vinci. And a position MP about the House of Assembly. That's a true Vinci. Corruption keeping them in poverty, but they contented and happy. That's a true Vinci. The only flag that gained popularity.
Okay, we are ready to reconvene, so if you could rejoin us on the platform. Doggy, if we could get somebody to come and refocus the projector. BDS, could we get somebody to come and refocus the projector, please?
All right, we are back here after that brief shower, and I just want to say that this project is about 2 plantations in the St. George's Valley in Barbados, and another plantation or island called Shelter Island in the Long Island Fork. So we are studying plantation history, but this is plantation history with a difference. It is not only planters that we are looking at. We are looking at laborers. And just a few weeks ago, we found a laborer who was 112 years old, an enslaved woman, not a slave, an enslaved woman, 112 years old. Now, for me, this was a revelation, because you don't find enslaved women or people living that long. People live 30 years old and they die. 35, they die. But to live 112 was something else. And we said, look, we have to do something on this person. Her name is Lavinia. So sit back and relax and listen to this short video, this short documentary on Lavinia.
Kelia, please. Okay, you know, they say what can go wrong will go wrong. So when they look at the video, we will have it. But it's indeed a pleasure to see so many of you coming here and sharing with us the fruits of our labor under this Constant Carmichael project. On the screen, there was a flyer called Sugar Talks, Dr. Carter? Sugar Talks. And we had that and what you call in St. Vincent and Grenada is a gated community, which is located in the area. Okay, so you ready, Carlin? Okay. No, the video. That's the video? Not the PowerPoint, the video. Yeah. She's running the PowerPoint showing you what we did in Shelter, but we want the video, the documentary, the short documentary. Yeah, so we had this talk at the estates, gated community located where the plantations were initially in the 17th century, sharing the findings with the residents. A lot of them are actually retirees who spent many years in Britain and are impressed with the long history of sugar and trade between Barbados and the rest of the region. And a little later on, you're going to hear more details of how St. Vincent and the Grenadines fits into this puzzle. So while our postgraduate research fellow, Ms. Carlin Barrow, finds the video, we will wait. Okay, so she seems she can't find the video. All right. So we'll come back to the video later on, darling. We'll come back to the video, right? Go ahead. We'll come back to the video. All right. So next, I want to invite the vibrating skits. Vibrating skits.
Sometimes support performance.
So who you ready with? You ready with Ipa? Okay, so my DJ Cole Drew tell me we go with Ipa. And Ipa is part of our team supporting us here. Ipa, you there? All right, come on, Ipa there as usual. So let's get Ipa microphone. Engineer, the microphone for Ipa. Okay, right.
Greetings, everyone. We have some real dignitaries here tonight. I don't know. We have the Right Honorable Mr. Starkey John. Yeah. He's a good man. He's a good man. I always love this man. I admire him for his intellectual capacity. And I won't tell you about his sons. He have two sons who I know, very great children. Am I wrong? All right, you're welcome. You're welcome. Are we ready there? Lord, you ain't seen it? One Caribbean nation? You see there? Bring it down. Nice. Yes. We find it now. Oh, yes.
If we try federation and it didn't work as planned, why should we now change our course of direction? The search for unification is an important mission for our scattered people here in the Caribbean. Individually we just can't make it. Together we must fight and shape it for the benefit of we children. We gotta pave the road for them. So now with proper planning, our goals we will be achieving. With the grace of God the Almighty, we cross that bridge to victory as one Caribbean nation, one cultural projection, one God, one name, one destiny. If we want to live our lives happy, we gotta check for unity, yeah. One Caribbean nation, original integration, one God, one name, one destiny. If we want to live our lives happy, we gotta check for unity, yeah.
Am I wrong?
How much have we profit when the big islands denounce it? They went on that egoistic trip, thinking that they would benefit. Now Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana, economy feeling real pressure. Their money keep on declining, so with the IMF they gone siding. The OECS currency controlled by the ECCD. A more stable economy, that's one aspect of unity. So with the whole region together, working under one umbrella, we'll be able to stand firm and mighty, holding we heads high for all to see, yeah. One Caribbean nation, one cultural projection, one God, one name, one destiny. If we want to live our lives happy, we got to check for unity, yeah. One Caribbean nation, original integration, one God, one name, one destiny. If we want to live our lives happy, we got to check for unity, yeah. Hey! I ain't got enough dance in this party yet.
Hillary Beckles,
Yeah, man.
Vice Chancellor of the
The time is now more than ever for us to come together, putting our differences aside, forgetting about the contention and strife. Let us now build strong foundation and start elevation to move on in certainty, leaving the problems behind me. For in this world there's so many changes. Europe now collaborating, despite their political policies, they are striving for unity. So we gotta take such a warning, for a new day is dawning, and forward to the 21st century. Our people gotta move positively as one Caribbean nation, one cultural projection, one God, one name, one destiny. If we want to live our lives happy, we gotta check for unity, yeah. One Caribbean nation, regional integration, one God, one name, one destiny. If we want to live our lives happy, we gotta check for unity, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much. All right? Love.
Okay, let's say it one more time.
Hillary Beckles,
That's the wrong video. Okay. Yeah, let's say it one more time for Grant Lee Constant, the hyper, singing One Caribbean Nation. And could we have some bright lights, please? Bright lights. At this point, I'm going to introduce you to the delegation. First of all, we have Stefan. Come on, Stefan. Come, Stefan. You can bring your drink, it's okay, because it's a social event. Introduce yourself quickly, Stefan.
Good night, everyone. I'm Stefan Cheltenham. I'm an undergraduate at UWK campus, Barbados, and my major is history. And I'm fanatic to be on the Constant Carmichael project with Dr. Carter and Dr. Henderson. And Dr. Scott, thank you.
Thank you very much, Stefan. Good. And next, we have from Antigua and Barbuda, Makeda Challenger. And Makeda is a lecturer at the Five Island campus. Come on, Makeda. Hurry up before I tell Gaston that you're not representing Antigua. Good.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Makeda Fleming Challenger. I'm currently pursuing a PhD in reparations study, and I really hope at the end of it all that we can join in this fight because they stole from us and they must repay us. Thank you very much.
So that's Antigua and Barbuda. We have from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but she's not here. I don't see her here as yet. We also have from St. Kitts, who's flying in any time now. And we have representing Jamaica, Barbados, the whole Caribbean, Dr. Richards, Cummins. Sometimes I don't get the hyphenated names correct, you know.
Hi, everyone. And then
A lot of the persons who know me here know me as Richards anyway. I've been to St. Vincent many times. I'm a lecturer in archaeology with the Caveville campus. Thank you.
And Andrea spent many years managing at Devon House in Jamaica. You all know about Devon House in Jamaica? Built what one of the first black rich men. And you know, sometimes they say black people can't run big businesses. This guy, he was a giant, right? And now we have AI, so when you go home, just Google Devon House. Come, Alison, come. Alison Johnson. And the only thing Alison loves about St. Vincent is Hiram Marby. She comes to my house every day asking for Hiram Marby.
Yeah, and I was checking it out at the supermarket earlier today and I didn't see any, so you need to point me in the right direction. Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Alison Johnson. I'm actually admin with the Faculty of Culture, Creative, and Performing Arts, the newest faculty within the university system. This is my first time in St. Vincent, and I'm really excited to what we will be doing over the next few days. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alison. And who's next? Who's next? Come. Next. Yeah, the hard-working Barrow, hard-working. She's the left hand and right hand of me and Dr. Carter.
That's an understatement. My name is Karen Barra. I'm an MPhil student in the Department of History, Philosophy, and Psychology of the University of the West Indies. I'm also a research student in the Constant and Carmichael project of what we are doing here today. Most people might know, but I'm part Vinci. I came from Vermont. Most of my family came from Vermont, so big up all those people that from Vermont. And as Dr. Scott and as Dr. Carter would have been, I'm the left hand and the right hand of the project. And I'm very glad that you all are here today to see the turnout in terms of what we have to present it here. And we hope for that you kindly support us in our study journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Colin. Come next, Miss Radio Personality. Marsha, come on, please. Marsha, give me your best radio voice. And Dr. Carter would tell you we have 2 radio programs produced by us. It's called Today in Bajan History and Today in Cricket History. And the university has a 3rd program, which is not from us, because we set the trend, and it's called
UE Voices in Research.
Yeah, where you could hear all the cutting-edge research we're doing, particularly in medicine, engineering, and so on. Marsha?
Hello, everyone. My name is Marsha Doughton Chandler. I am a student of history at the University of the West Indies Caveville campus, and I also enjoy reading, writing, and narrating for Today in Bajan History. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Marsha, you're trying to mesmerize people with that voice. All right, who's next? Next, come on. From the Faculty of Culture.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Stephanie Williams. I'm from the Faculty of Culture, Creative, and Performing Arts. My major is Caribbean Studies, and it is indeed a privilege to be on this research study tour. I am so honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Who's next? That's it? I don't see Harper. Where's Harper? Yeah, come on, Brung, come on. Otherwise, I take back them ears I used to give you. Right. So Brung is going to be joining us. Introduce. He's graduated, but he's still part of us.
Yes. So I'm Kieran Brown. I'm from St. Vincent, as you know already. Yes, I did economics and history. Dr. Scott and Dr. Carter were two of my lecturers, and it is exciting. It is really exciting for this whole research project. This is really exciting, and I'm also quite excited to see my classmates. It's been a while, so thank you.
All right, okay. And Kieran, he did very well in history. He studied South Africa and West Indian and so on. He asked some very good questions, which these days sometimes you don't get from some students. Come on, Mr. Harper. Come on.
Hello, everyone. My name is Glenn Michael Harper. I'm a master's student from UE. I got my bachelor's in archaeology in New York, and then I came to Barbados to find my roots and I think I did or got close enough. I'm really enjoying the experience, and this trip so far has been amazing. St. Vincent is a very beautiful country.
Yes, and Harper, he studied landscape history of the Eastern Caribbean with me, and he wasn't so familiar with mountains, and I said to him, well, we will have to take you to St. Vincent. But he did a magnificent job with a new development in Barbados. It's called what's it called again? In Tongue, next to the...
What's that?
Next to the port. The port in Tongue. Pierhead Project.
Pierhead Project, yes, yeah, Pierhead.
The Pierhead Project. You see, you sent me to represent you. You can't remember. There's a massive, 500 million or 200 million. They're building townhouses and shopping center and jetties and so on in the heart of Bridgetown. If you all know what we call the Carinage, right on the waterfront, they're building this massive thing. And part of it, they want to incorporate heritage and history. And so Dr. Carter was involved and sent me to represent him. But Mr. Harper, he was involved as an advisor or consultant on the project. Good, so that's the team. I don't know if I missed anyone. So what we're going to do now, Shady, we're going to move to the feature address. Feature address. So Shady, if you could help me place back the podium. And Philip, if you could make sure the microphone is the right height and so on, we should then welcome our featured speaker. Okay, good. Now, earlier this year, we had the launching of Volume 1 of the National History of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And leading up to that launch, we had several meetings with the Governor General, His Excellency Stanley John Kessie. And during those conversations, Dr. Carter, myself, his longtime friend, Dr. Fraser. Dr. Fraser, you there? I can't see. Yeah, well, yeah, Dr. Fraser's there. And also Dr. Michael Gary Denny, who we call Grubby. And we were overly impressed with the deep interest His Excellency expressed in history and culture. And then we made a commitment to continue to engage him in issues and matters around history. In fact, many of you who read online news will know earlier this year, I did a bit of agitation, which I'm going to continue to do, to encourage the authorities to create what I call chancery to allow His Excellency to do more work along this area. This evening, he has agreed to come and give us a feature address as we bring this tour, which we call a learning journey to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Please welcome His Excellency the Governor General, Stanley John Knight, King's Consort. I'm going to say Knight, it comes naturally, but it will come. Please welcome His Excellency.
Thank you very much, Dr. Scott. Thank you. It is a distinct honor for me to have made you associated with you on the excellent work that you've been doing with your colleagues in relation to history and heritage issues from the platform of the University West Indies at Cave Hill. Members of Cabinet, Principal Investigator, Dr. Henderson Carter, Research Team of the Constant and Carmichael Project, Head of the UE Global Campus, Ambassador Gupta from India. I'm not sure if he's still here. I did invite him to attend at the last moment. Members of the St. Vincent National Trust, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed an honor to join you in this evening at this reception to welcome the Constant and Carmichael Project on its learning journey to the eastern United States, with its first stop here in St. Vincent. Dr. Henderson Carter has informed me that this project is a partnership between the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill, and Sylvester Manor on Shelter Island, New York, and he did repeat that earlier, and that it is supported by a grant from the Mellon Foundation. This 3-year initiative is dedicated to researching and documenting how the Caribbean and the wider Atlantic world were bound together by plantation economy. This is a project about connections. It reminds us that Constant and Carmichael Sugar Plantation of Barbados did not stand alone, that they were provisioned, sustained, and made profitable by a web of trade stretching as far as the shores of the northeastern United States. It reminds us that the wealth built on Caribbean soil and on Caribbean suffering touch lives and institutions far beyond these islands. And it reminds us too that the work of remembering, of gathering the archive, walking the land, and naming what happened there is unfinished work and necessary work. Now, it's well known that Barbados was the first slave society in the West Indies. It was in Barbados, as Dr. Carter indicated earlier on, and I think also Dr. Scott, that the British first mastered the sugar plantation model. Afterwards, this model of monocrop agriculture using enslaved blacks was transplanted to the wider Caribbean and the U.S. Eastern Seaboard, particularly the Carolinas. It was the Sylvesters, we are told from the research, who developed the model of provisioning, where a distant plantation in the U.S. produced almost everything that was used on a plantation. To be precise, almost every conceivable item was imported from North America: wheat, salted pork, salted beef, salted codfish, tea, broken down barrels in pieces called shooks and tools. These importations were a result of a policy that the plantation should concentrate on sugarcane cultivation rather than food production. What is less known, ladies and gentlemen, is that St. Vincent and the Grenadines was the last in the British possessions to become a slave society. This point is made explicitly clear in the recently published and universally acclaimed work, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, A National History, authored by our distinguished Dr. Fraser, Dr. Scott, and Dr. Denny. Please permit me to quote this very important point to emphasize what has been characterized by knowledgeable commentators as a historiographical tremor shaking up of historical analysis. They argue that before, and this is the result of their research, and I'm quoting them, before 1797 and the defeat of the indigenous resistance to British colonial rule, the multi-island colony was a society with enslaved persons. The evidence shows that enslaved Africans were in the multi-island states since the mid-16th century. The French and Spanish used enslaved Africans on mainland St. Vincent when this island served as an entrepot. The Kalinago removed Africans from South America, Venezuela, Colombia, and Brazil, and Puerto Rico to the Leeward Islands, including St. Vincent, well, to the Lesser Antilles, actually, including St. Vincent. However, they instruct, after 1797, the British catapulted St. Vincent into a slave society, as it had done elsewhere since the 16th century. Ladies and gentlemen, this quotation reveals a profound paradigm shift emanating from that recent publication. It is groundbreaking. It is revisionist historical work that has disrupted deeply entrenched narratives. Another major difference between Barbados and St. Vincent and the Grenadines is that here we are, again, instructed by the researchers. The provision ground was a major feature, especially from around 1800. I've also learned that a question historians have been examining is the ability of the enslaved population in Barbados to reproduce, while elsewhere in the region there was natural decline. One understands that some Barbadian planters had proffered that the continued practice of giving rations to the slaves and not provision grounds was the main reason for the natural increase there in Barbados. Now, certainly, during their visits here, the scholars are expected to observe the dominance of small-scale agriculture that has its antecedent in the provision ground model in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Dr. Fraser has explained the origins of this phenomenon by his research and findings on the peasantry and land settlement. The tangible work of this project shows us exactly how deep these connections run. Through the patient tracking of provision ledgers, plantation records, and family papers, the research team has successfully brought these discoveries out of the archives and into the public eye through a 6-part digital documentary series, Wealth and Power in the Valley, which details these historical networks. I'm also informed that just this past January, students from UE, New York University, and the University of Massachusetts came together at a joint conference to present these findings, proving that this is active living research. We in St. Vincent and the Grenadines should understand this kind of work intimately, because it is also our story. The Garifuna story is one of the most powerful epics of resistance in human history. Even when forced exile sought to scatter their physical presence across the shores of Central America, it could never sever their spiritual and historical umbilical cord to this, their homeland. These factors, among others, are reasons why a project like Constant Carmichael matters to us. Not because it is our history alone, but because it brings to the same larger, it belongs to the same larger story, a Caribbean story that has too often been told from the perspective of the oppressor. When scholars like you who are involved in this project do the patient work of tracing provision in ledgers, plantation records, and family papers across an ocean, you are doing work for Barbados and for Shelter Island, what we as Vincentians have long insisted must be done for our Garifuna heritage. Recovering names, recovering voices, and restoring dignity to a history that was told without us for far too long a time. When we reclaim control of the telling of our story as we do here, it provides compelling proof that we are now the authors of our own destiny. I want to commend the University of the West Indies for including St. Vincent and the Grenadines in this intriguing research project. It was Ord Coombs, the acclaimed Vincentian writer, who proclaimed in the 1970s that island life is like no other. Projects of this kind that study island life do more than fill in academic footnotes. They build the case evidence by evidence, document by document, for a fuller and more truthful account of how the modern Atlantic world was made. They also open doors for scholarly exchange, for cultural tourism grounded in truth rather than nostalgia, for our youthful historians and archivists to be trained alongside international partners, and for our own national story to be woven more visibly into this wider regional narrative. May this project and the conversation it sparks this evening encourage us all to continue the work of sharing our stories. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience, and I wish this project success that it's so well deserved. Thank you very much.
Let's hear it one more time for His Excellency. And in his presentation, he wove a web linking island by island history in the Atlantic. Earlier, when we looked at the film from Olton, you saw whaling, and last year we went to Boston, and we saw Nantucket, right? And we saw Rhode Island, where a lot of the rum went, and Newport, Rhode Island, where a lot of the rum from this region went to be exchanged as currency to go to Africa to purchase Africans as chattel. So this project studies all of these connections, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines is part of that web. And also, there's a story that Dr. Carter likes to tell, but he would tell you about it, but this woman who ran away when he comes to the mic. So let's hear it one more time for an excellent presentation from His Excellency. And VC3, I hope that over the next couple of weeks that you will, VC3 API, I'm talking to everybody, and NBC Radio and Nice Radio, that we can have this speech being repeated, particularly for those students who are doing CSEC and KIP. Right, Dr. Carter? Good. So, you ready with skits? You ready with skits? No? Okay. So I'm going to invite Nicole, and Nicole, you're coming by yourself? You're coming with company. Nicole is from the Dean's office in the Faculty of Humanities and Education, and she's the person who we harass every day to make sure the bills are paid and so on. So Nicole, please come, and Dr. Carter, you're going to come now, and then after you make your remarks and then come. So I'm handing over to Dr. Carter.
This evening it gives me immense pleasure to make a few presentations to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is really a joy to be here to have this study tour coming through St. Vincent. And first of all, we want to make a presentation to His Excellency Stanley John. Could you come forward, please? Governor General of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And it is my pleasure to donate Today in Bajan History, Book 1. Yes, Today in Bajan History, Book 1 to you. Yes. Yes. Today in Bajan History, Book 1. Thank you. You are welcome. Okay. National Trust. National Trust. Yeah. Come forward. Come forward. And then I also want to donate to the National Trust another copy of Today in Bajan History, Book 1. It's a pleasure. All right? You want to? Yeah, let's take it out of the cover so that we can. All right. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you so much for those moments. I just want now to go straight into my closing remarks. And I start with a story. 1794. A woman at Newton Plantation in Christchurch, Barbados, called Betsy Newton. She's named after the owner of the plantation. She's Betsy. The plantation name is Newton. So she's Betsy Newton. She has children on the plantation. And she hears that her mother has been set free. But the planters who are managing the plantation would not set her free. Would not. Know what Betsy did? Betsy left her children on the plantation, journeyed to Bridgetown. Journeyed to Bridgetown, somehow got a boat, or got on a boat, or persuaded the captain of a ship to let her come through, and traveled 90 miles right here to St. Vincent. Betsy Newton. She arrives in St. Vincent. And then from St. Vincent, she doesn't stay long. She heads for the United Kingdom. Remember, she leaves her children on the plantation. And she arrives in the United Kingdom sometime in 1794. And she gets assistance to find the owner of the plantation, a man called Thomas Lane, who's an absentee owner. And she finds his house. And Mr. Lane was so surprised to hear this woman knocking at his door in 1794, a black woman from the plantation that he owned. She is at his door asking for an interview. Lane obliges. And she comes in and she gives an interview. And she's asking for the freedom of her family on Barbados. And she's making the point that her mother had been freed earlier. And she also wants the freedom of her children, and she wants her freedom as well. Now, remember, this is 1795. They couldn't send her back to Barbados because the Mansfield judgment, that Mansfield law of 1772, had been passed. So she was a free woman. But she was still asking for freedom in Barbados. But she was doing more. She was chastising the management of the plantation, how they were treating the slaves, or the enslaved people, as I like to call them, how they were treating her brother, how they were treating people on the plantation. The manager, or the owner, Thomas Lane, heard her, and heard her twice. Not only once, heard her twice. Had 2 interviews with him. The manager did not budge, and her mother, Old Doll, and her children remained enslaved on the plantation. But she made an effort. I call this courage. Courage against all odds. To get on a plane, I said plane? A boat. A boat. To come down to St. Vincent and then end up in England to get freedom. But that's not the end of the story. Her brother John Thomas did the same thing in 1810. John Thomas came down here, went to Grenada, came down to this region, and then headed to England and also approached Thomas Lane for his freedom. Now, John Thomas, as like Betsy Newton, remained in England, never came back to Barbados, never buried in Barbados. But it shows the lengths to which people would go to get their freedom. And I believe that, for me, is a documentary that we should do something about. Our movie of this woman on a boat, traveling down here, and then going to England to put her case to the master. One other story. And this occurs around 1741. Another enslaved man, Jupiter, from Codrington Plantation in St. John, leaves the plantation. And he comes down to St. Vincent. And St. Vincent was like a highway for the enslaved blacks, running away from brutal enslavement. But Jupiter strikes me as a very serious man. Jupiter arrives here, stays here for 3 or 4 months, but you know what he did? Packs up his bag and heads back to the east, to Barbados again. Could you imagine that? An enslaved man getting away from brutality, coming here, and decided he going back home. Can anybody tell me why Jupiter is going back home? Anybody? Any answers? He's going back home for his girlfriend. Miss the girl. Yes. Goes back home for his girlfriend. Of course, he arrives on Codrington, is promptly flogged and confined and re-enslaved again. But those two examples show us that these islands were intricately connected, not only for the planter class, but for the enslaved people who resisted by running away, by moving away, and using these islands to travel. And I thought, well, look, we have a project called the Constant Carmichael Project. Why not take the same journey? So what we are doing today is we have journeyed by plane, not by boat, by plane to St. Vincent. We are staying here for about 4 days, examining the history and the heritage and the culture of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I cannot wait to go to Black Point, because Black Point is mind-boggling. Risa took me there last year, and I cannot understand how enslaved people and the Kalinago people could drill a hole in that hard granite rock. I cannot understand the human cost, the human labor that went into that just for the plantation system. That's a story in itself. That's a movie in itself. It's about people working hard under the whip and creating this tunnel. So that is why we're here. And then we go off into the Carolinas to show how slavery was exported from the West Indies to the Carolinas and throughout America. So we're here for another reason. We are interested in the enslaved people. Too many times we see, as I saw last Friday at a funeral at St. George's Parish Church, on the wall, a relief feature of a man called John Pettyjohn, who managed Constant Plantation in the 1700s. And another man beside him called Carmichael, Constant and Carmichael. The two of them are there in St. George's Parish Church. But there's no Lavinia. Lavinia outlasted or outlived all of them. She lived 112 years old. We are particularly interested in the enslaved people. Yes, we will look at the planters. We look at their management systems. But we are particularly interested in the enslaved people because we don't see their names anywhere in the church. And that is why we are into this research called the Constant Carmichael Project, because we want to bring this history from the shadows, bring it into the light, and create knowledge products out of it. Knowledge products, products that can be used, can be sold, can be viewed. This book that we did today and we presented, that's a knowledge product. That book came out of a program, a radio program called Today in Bajan History. And we said, look, we have all these podcasts here. Why not put the thing into a book? And this, I must say, is one of the best-selling books here in Barbados. And I'm sure that you will enjoy it as you read. So I end therefore by saying that we are happy to be here to this beautiful country. As we were coming in, seeing the indentations and the islands, I was simply blown away. So I'm looking forward tomorrow for our Windward Coast. We are on the Windward Coast, Leeward Coast tomorrow. Leeward Coast tomorrow, and then Sunday we are on the Windward Coast. Thank you so much for this reception. I want to thank all of you for making sure that this reception went well, and I now turn back to Cleve. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tomorrow we are going down the Leeward. Shady, we're dropping down here. We're going down the Leeward by boat to Chateaubelair. Then we're going to take bus and go to 13 Stones. You all know what 13 Stones is? Right? Well, again, AI now, you got Google 13 Stones. Then we are going to Darkview Falls. We're also going to Rose Hall Free Village. Rose Hall was one of the first free villages. On Sunday, we're going to places like Maroon Hill, Morinage, and say people running around. Dr. Carter gave you 2 examples. He mentioned Black Point. We are going to Greg's, one of the oldest places where the descendants of the Garifuna occupied. And we're going all the way up to Sandy Bay. And on Monday, we will be around Kingston looking at the cobblestones and the different buildings. And in the afternoon, we are on a jet plane all the way to Washington, D.C. And then we would move via road from Washington straight down to South Carolina, where our last stop would be the International African American Museum, where we will look at the history of enslavement. There's a massive exhibition there. So that will be our final stop. And then the students will depart back home to the various countries. Good. Now, early on, you had IPA. And in 2003, I got an award from the University of the West Indies Grenada campus, and I took IPA to sing with me. And since 2003, any stage I appear on, IPA is there. Another person who is always with me is my good friend Skates. Ready for you? Holding up the show, Skates. Let's go. He's the vibrating Skates. He had a little technical difficulty, but Skates is innovative, and he have found the solution engineer. You on the stage? You ready? So you done? Okay. So, Shady, if you could just help me again, shift so Skates could do his thing. Come on, Vibrator. Welcome to Vibrator Skates, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Glad to see so much good faces around here. It's a time for history and a time to wine for everybody. Havana! Hearing the drums of Africa saying hello to Cuba. Echoes of a people under pressure, facing the same wicked oppressor. Imperialism has gone mad, pretending to do the work of God. So we must bind those demons together. We're not bowing to no demonic power. Tell them Cuba is not for sale. The Caribbean is waiting to exhale. Cuba is not for sale. Wall Street could bring down the Holy Grail. A time of peril is upon us when blasphemers say in God we trust. It's all a game for financial gain. Hey! Havana, the world is feeling your pain. Woo! Oh, 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 oh. You fought to liberate Africa while apartheid strangled black culture. The continent was rising up, but colonialists wanted it to stop. You give medicals to help the poor. Doctors and nurses went from door to door. And what we learned from the recent pandemic, you help the Italians in caring for their sick. Tell them Cuba is not for sale. The Caribbean is waiting to exhale. Cuba is not for sale. Wall Street could bring down the Holy Grail. A time of peril is upon us when imposters say in God we trust. It's all a game for financial gain. Hey! Havana, the world is feeling your pain. Oh, 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 oh. Woo! Fighting the spirit of Shadue for your share of this hemisphere. I hope you understand the mission. Don't you be no second-class citizen. Caribbean people have come of age, never again to be nobody's slave. Freedom fighters will turn in their graves if we don't stand up and be very brave. Tell them, Cuba is not for sale. The Caribbean is waiting to exhale. Cuba is not for sale. Wall Street could bring down the Holy Grail. A time of peril is upon us when warmongers say in God we trust. It's all a game for financial gain. Hey! Havana, the world is feeling your pain. Oh, 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 oh. Woo! Remember Simon Bolivar and one Toussaint Louverture. The tenacity of Jose Marti caused mercenaries still ravaging Haiti. Over 60 years of embargo, released drug dealers and jail in Maduro. Those champions of democracy let go Miss Pussy and grabbing the oil money. Hey, tell them Cuba is not for sale. The Caribbean is waiting to exhale. Cuba is not for sale. Wall Street could bring down the Holy Grail. A time of peril is upon us when pedophiles say in God we trust. It's all a game for financial gain. Havana, let me hear you. The world is feeling your pain. Woo! Oh, 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 oh. Bam, bibi, 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 bibi. Woo! Everybody ready? Yes, they're there. Thank you very much. Wow! Woo! So we must plan collectively for a brighter day. No one knows what's in store for the future. True dedication can get us there. Independence is a milestone in our march to prosperity. Now St. Vincent and the Grenadines have a real nationality. We are a nation of many races and have tried hard to integrate. Strand of so many faces shall be the prospect in our faith. So in this moment of history, challenging every community, our nation is born. Colonialism is gone. Hey! This is a time of national freedom, so share love with someone the 27th dawn of October. Our nation is born. One history, one ecstasy, one destiny for all are we. Hey, 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 oh, hey, hey, woo! Yeah! While we take this stand as a nation, let us not forget our past. For this future we praise our heroes who fought slavery to the last. Special honors to Marcus Garvey. His sacrifice gave us all a chance. And all the men who fought in this century to bring us this day of independence. So in this moment of history, tell it in every community, our nation is born. Colonialism is gone. suffrage. Yes, the hope of a bright tomorrow for all the underprivileged. Let love excel our wishes, our advancement needs plenty of work. Remember, back is death for the nation that opposes this action and lots of love. So in this moment of history, tell it in every community, our nation is born, colonialism is gone. This is a time of national freedom, so share love with someone. The 27th dawn of October, our nation is born. One history, one ecstasy, one destiny, for all are we. Hey, 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 oh, hey, hey. Woo! Let me hear you. Da, 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 da. Stand up now, stand up and somebody. My people join hand in hand now. Put your differences aside. Get your hearts and souls together. We got to build this nation with pride. Walk in harmony with good leaders. Never elect no one here to rule. Then we can feel at home like good comrades. Our people must not be election tools. So in this moment of history, tell it in every community. Wave something. Nation is born. I can't see your hand. Colonialism is gone. Hey! This is a time of national freedom. So share love with someone. The 27th dawn of October, our nation is born. One history, one ecstasy, one destiny, for all are we. Hey, 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 oh, hey, hey. Woo. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. Oh, yeah. Woo. Thank you. Skates don't move yet, boy. Skates, you teach me that move there. Show me that move now. That 2 steps take. What you do that? Listen. Listen, Skates is a treasure. And one of the reasons I became a historian is because very early in life, I found the importance of people knowing where you come from. I want my cousin, Dr. Leacock, please stand. Please stand up, Alwyn. Alwyn and me's first cousin. His father used to sell coconut. My father was a baker. His father went to the police station a day to sell coconut water. And they said they want recruits. And his father went home and told my father, stop being a baker and join the police. And it's the best thing ever happened to our family. The deputy prime minister is his brother, is my first cousin, the son of a coconut vendor, and the son of a baker. And my family, we have 6 graduates from the UWI, 3 PhDs, and all masters, and there's going to be a 4th PhD soon. The university is doing good work. We need to continue to support university. Enough people not doing history. We want the authorities in St. Vincent to encourage more people to the history, and that is why we are so happy that His Excellency has come on board. And that's why I'm so happy that Skates keep singing these development songs. Skates, thank you, keep doing it. Now for the official voter thanks, please welcome Mr. Stephen, I was going to say Walcott, who is a musician, but Cheltenham. Stephen, and you know these days they don't call young people by the government name, eh? So Bongo, come.
Good night again, everyone. What a pleasure to be here. What a beautiful night. We want to start off by saying a special vote of thanks to everyone who was able to attend such a special gathering. On behalf of the conference organizers, or the gathering organizers, it is my great honor to offer this vote of thanks following such an enlightening and thought-provoking night. We extend our sincere appreciation to the speakers for sharing not only the historical significance of St. Vincent and Barbados and the Caribbean at wide, and the diaspora. Today, These gatherings remind us that our history is not simply a record of the past events, it's the foundation upon which we build our identity, preserve our heritage, and shape our future. I would also like to acknowledge the outstanding leadership behind this important initiative. Our sincere congratulations and gratitude to Dr. Carter, the principal investigator, and Dr. Scott, the co-investigator whose vision, scholarship, and dedication continue to guide the Constant Carmichael project. Their commitment to uncovering and preserving this shared history is making a lasting contribution to the Caribbean heritage and historical research. We also wish to recognize the generous support of the Mellon Foundation, whose funding has made this groundbreaking project possible. Their investment in research, education, and cultural preservation demonstrates the importance of safeguarding our shared history for our future generations. I also wish to express our gratitude to the organizers of this gathering tonight, our sponsors, volunteers, technical staff, and everyone whose dedication has made this gathering possible. Gatherings and conferences, presentations such as this provide invaluable opportunities for dialogue, collaboration, and the exchange of ideas that strengthen our region. Finally, I would like to thank each of you, our delegates, our guests, Your Excellency, Atlee, for his earlier presentation, for all of your participation and thoughtful engagement. Your presence reflects our shared commitment to preserving Caribbean history and advancing knowledge for future generations. Please join me in expressing our heartfelt appreciation to our speakers again, to Dr. Carter, Dr. Scott, and to everyone who has contributed to the success of the Constant Carmichael project with a warm round of applause.
Don't move yet, Stefan. I'm going to ask you a question. What's your father's occupation?
A lawyer.
So we lost a historian to law, and we stole a potential lawyer to history. Thank you very much, Stefan. Yeah, his father is a well-known, of course, Your Excellency, you know his father, Cheltenham, very well in Barbados. Yeah, Johnny. Yes. Yeah, Johnny, well-known lawyer. Good, so now it's time for refreshments and drink. And